So today I want to talk about the energy of discipline and what is discipline and how does discipline fit in to embodying erotic wealth and creating your soul-led business from your feminine power. So, hello, hello. For those who don't know me, I am Alara Sage. I am the Oracle of Wealth, and I'm the creator of the Temple of Her. Hold power, embody erotic wealth, and reign your soul led empire. So, one of the things I've noticed is that, when we are in the energies of spirituality and feminine leadership and feminine embodiment, the word discipline seems to kind of rub people the wrong way. They say that you don't need discipline, or maybe they feel that the word of discipline doesn't really resonate with them. And I'm not here to speak that those people are wrong or incorrect or anything like that. I'm here to bring clarity. So, what is discipline and how does it fit in? The important thing to understand is discipline is devotion in motion, devotion in action. So, when we decide that we are devoted to something, when we are lit by it, we are passionate about it, right? We can very easily be disciplined in those frequencies. We want to create it, do we not? And when that passion, that aliveness is very much lit in your body, it's very easy to make it a priority, to carve out the time in our lives to make it a priority. But let's talk about the times before. Maybe you're not so connected to your erotic current. Maybe you don't really understand the embodiment of your feminine power. And so maybe discipline for you sometimes feels forced. And I totally understand that. So if discipline ever feels forced, here's the first thing to do. Step back and ask yourself, what is it that you're trying to create? What is it that you're trying to create that the discipline to create that feels forced, right? Is creating resistance. And why are you creating it? The why is one of the most potent questions that we can ask ourselves. And we want to layer the why. We want to let the why take us down the rabbit hole to reveal truth. Meaning, we want to ask why more than once. Because usually, when we ask why, the mind hops right in, says, "Oh, I know the answer. This is the good answer. This is the answer where I get the pat on my back. This is the answer I get the gold star." Right. And that's gorgeous and beautiful and all the things, ego, but we want to go deeper. We want to really understand why you're creating something. So ask why 5 times if need be. Keep asking that why until you hit it. And let me tell you, you will feel it when you hit the real why. You will either feel the aliveness, the passion of something that you are creating that comes from your desires, from your truth, from your erotic current, and you'll be like, oh, this is why, right? Or you will hit a why of contraction. Uh, that's a hard truth to swallow. Wow. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. Right. And that why most likely will be rooted in performance. I'm doing this because I need money. I'm doing this in order to get. If I create this, I will be seen, I will be recognized, I will be whatever. Right? I'm doing this because I'm scared. I'm doing this from a place of lack. Right? That doesn't feel good. Right? That doesn't instill that erotic, that expanded, that, oh, yes, frequency in our bodies. It actually does the opposite. It says, no, that doesn't feel good. I don't want to do that. And so, 2 things, right? If it was a why that lit you up and expanded you, breathe into that. Anchor back into that why. And let that why nurture you first and foremost. Because what's happening is if you're finding resistance, then you're not really anchored in that frequency that is your aliveness. So you want to breathe into it. Imagine yourself in that creation of whatever that why was. Feel it in your body. See it, feel it, recognize it as truth because it feels good. It's activating you, it's expanding your field because it's truth for you. So, really activate yourself in that and then let that frequency carry you through the resistance because resistance is not always bad. It definitely does not always mean that something is out of alignment. It means that it can mean, in this circumstance, that you are butting up against a comfort zone and a belief structure. And so coming back to that why can help fuel you through that fear, that disbelief, that distrust in yourself that's creating the resistance and making it not feel very good to be disciplined in devotion, right? Disciplined in creating whatever that is. Now, the second one, if your why brought you down to, yeah, I'm doing this because I need money, I'm doing this from lack, I'm doing this from fear, right? Then we want to go into those energies because the truth is, my love, you don't want to create from those frequencies. You don't want to create from lack. You don't want to create from fear. You don't even want to create from performance mindset, which is I'm doing this in order to get, which the business industry is riddled with. I'm doing this, I'm placing this offer, I'm making this offer, I'm doing this to get clients. Okay. That is valuable for some people and some businesses and some ways of being. It's truly the old paradigm. But if you're listening to this, my love, you are not meant for that way of doing business. You are here to do business in feminine embodiment, in erotic wealth. Okay. And that does not come from I'm doing something to get. That is a codependent performance mindset. And we don't want that because it circulates that same energy right back at you. Now you're attracting clients who are only coming into your frequency in order to take, in order to get. You don't want that. You want them to come in to be activated, to be reminded, to awaken and remember who they are. Okay? Because you are awakened and remembered in who you are. All right? So when we find those, first off, absolute love to yourself. Because anytime you find a why that is like that, congratulations. It is call for celebration because you just witnessed a part of yourself that is calling for you. The part of you that says, I need to do this in order to get, the part of you that says, I lack and I'm scared and I don't have money and I need it now, needs you. That part of you needs your love, your presence, your compassion, not abandonment. Not, I don't like that. That doesn't feel good. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to judge it. I'm going to push it away and not feel it because it doesn't feel good. No, that part of you needs you to say, oh my gosh, my love. Wow, thank you. Thank you for communicating with me. Thank you for expressing. This is your body. This is your wisdom communicating with you. And if you want that connection, you want that truth of your wisdom, your intuition, your gifts coming through you, this connection matters. It matters, it matters, it matters. And you cultivate that connection by listening. Yes, thank you. I hear you. That is a hard pill to swallow. And I am here. I'm not running away. I'm not abandoning you. I love you. And this is where we bring in shadow work, right? Which is a whole conversation. But really, all shadow work is the willingness to be present and love. Love, accept yourself as that without needing to change it. Love and accept that you feel scarcity, that you feel fear, that you're doing in order to get. Just love, 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 and feel and be present to that part of you. Sometimes it really helps when I work with clients, I have them bring that version of them in, see her, feel her, visualize her, right? And that helps you like love her, even though she's a part of you. Okay. You can also, set up a chair in front of you and just call her to sit down in front of you and speak to her. right? That's in front of you, that's a part of you. So these are different modalities through which you can love yourself, but you're loving a part of yourself, a part of your consciousness, a part of usually your subconscious mind that deeply needs, doesn't need anything else. She doesn't need anything else than your love. That is all she needs. And that is what shadow work is. It's integration. And we integrate these parts of ourselves by being present to them and loving them. And then they become a part of the whole instead of us pushing them away and ignoring them and abandoning them. And that creates separation. Okay. So discipline is devotion in motion. And the understanding that of course resistance is a part of creation because if we're truly creating, we're always going to be at the edge of creation, and the edge of creation is where polarity meets and God is revealed. Pain meets pleasure, suffering meets grace. This is where creation resides. Okay. So if you're creating, yes, you're going to feel, resistance, limiting beliefs, self-doubt, all of this stuff exists. But when you're rooted in the devotion to your why and that aliveness, that erotic current in your body, it will help move you. And there's lots of practices that we can take that even deeper. Literally using your erotic current, your pleasure, your play to take you, move you through those challenges, that discomfort, that resistance. Okay. But if your why is rooted in contraction and not self, there's a part of you that doesn't even want you to move through that resistance because you're not creating what your soul really wants you to create. So this is the difference between resistance not being in alignment, right? Resistance showing where you're not in alignment when you get down to that why and it's a contracted state, and resistance simply being something you need to move through. And how discipline comes into our life. And when we're in this space of erotic energy, when we're turned on by what we're creating, when what we're creating literally turns us on, arouses us, creates that sense of passion and inspiration and excitement, discipline becomes much easier because you want nothing more than to be an act of devotion. Devotion feels really good to our bodies. It is of the heart. When we are devoted to what matters to us, it feels really good. And so discipline in this frequency is a fuck yes. Discipline in this frequency is a fuck no. So I hope this clarifies discipline for you. And you can go down this rabbit hole of asking yourself why to gain the clarity and understand from that clarity, what do you need to do to either move through the discipline from your arousal and aliveness or do the shadow work and reconnect. What do you really want to create? What are the frequencies you really want to create from? Yes. Ah, I just got so turned on. Yes.